Sri Sasmit Patra.
Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir, I rise to speak on the National Medical Commission Bill 2019. To start with clause number 4, section 4, in the composition of the commission, it mandates that 6 members would be appointed on rotational basis from the states and union territories for 2 years. So this would ensure that states like Odisha, which have a strong need for health care, would be deprived to have a place on the board of the commission for 12 years, sir. After 12 years, after 12 years, Odisha will get its chance, sir. Instead of this, sir, I request the Honorable Minister to kindly consider having one permanent representative from every state we present there, because health is a regular issue, a day-to-day issue. It cannot come every 4 years or 5 years or 12 years, sir. So in terms of clause number 10, section 1I, which talks about determination of fees, up to 50% of the seats would be regulated by the commission. So in Odisha, earlier it used to be up to 85%, sir. But with this, it will come down to 50%. So there are a number of students who are meritorious students, but cannot afford the expensive education. So in this regard, sir, understanding also the concerns of the education sector, I propose that there should be a National Medical Education Scholarship Fund, which should be operated with the center and the states in conjunction, and which would ensure that meritorious students are not deprived of their rightful share of actually attending medical education, sir. In terms of clause number 15, sir, section 1, it talks about national exit test. So till now, we were saying in this bill that after 5 years of MBBS, if a student does not qualify the exit, what happens? Does he continue as a +2 pass? Does he actually become an MBBS? Is he an MBBS in transit? No one has a clarity. We hope the Honorable Minister will clarify. If the person fails the next, what happens? Since section 4, next exam would also be taken by people who have foreign education medical degrees. Now the question is, sir, we have not differentiated between Indians who have a foreign education degree in medicine versus non-Indians. So the question is, sir, there is no bar or ceiling as to how many people would be admitted into the registry of doctors or medical professionals if they do qualify. In fact, in section 32, section 1, you have a specificity that you will have 1/3 of community health providers compared to the National Registry of Doctors. Here, sir, there is no ceiling. So tomorrow, if you have 1 lakh practitioners across the world, they apply for next and qualified, will you allow all of them to start practicing in India? There is no clarity on that, sir. We hope the Honorable Minister will clarify. Section 5 of clause number 15 states that next will be used both for postgraduate education as a selection process as well as for granting licensing. So the question is, one examination, can it really test the functionality of a doctor to practice as a doctor and licensing him? On the same hand, also test his academic proficiency and so that he can go for a post-graduation. Can one examination qualify both these norms? I think the Honorable Minister would be very happy to learn from him. In terms of clause number 24 and 25 of the bill, sir, it says undergraduate medical education board and postgraduate medical education board. So both the education boards are standing in silos. But medical education is not in silos, sir. It's a progression from undergraduate education to postgraduate education. So I would suggest to the Honorable Minister through you, let there be an interface between the undergraduate medical board and the postgraduate medical board so that the commonalities in terms of minimum requirements, standards, curriculum, structure are looked into and collaboratively worked with, rather than after undergraduate you have a postgraduate. In clause number 26, section 1, subsection C, sir, it says that to hire and authorize any third party or persons for carrying out inspections of medical institutions for assessing and rating medical institutions. So who are these third parties? Are the private bodies who would be authorized by the government to go and inspect? Or are the government bodies who would be authorized by this commission to inspect? Because, sir, this was the root cause of corruption of the Medical Council of India. And if this root cause of corruption is not clarified enough, then tomorrow you will suddenly have so-called private bodies going and assessing and telling them that yes, you can get a medical college certification or not, and would become a backdoor, sir. In terms of clause number 32, section 1, 2, and 3, various speakers have already spoken about it. So there is a lack of clarity primarily on 2-3 areas. Firstly is granting limited license. What is this limited? Is it in tenure? Is it in qualification? It's what? The clarity is completely missing, sir. Point number 2, why there is no examination of qualifying for such community practitioners, sir? You have next, I'll just take a minute and I'll conclude, sir. You have qualifying examination of next for people to be given licenses to practice who are MBBS or doctors. But there is no qualifying examination so far. It has been mentioned in the bill that these practitioners, these community health providers will get a license. And finally, sir, I'll conclude. Clause number 50, it talks about a joint sitting of National Medical Commission, Central Council of Homeopathy and Central Council of Indian Medicine. But sir, there is a necessity for also integrating a joint sitting with the Ministry of Ayush. Here you cannot have only 2 or 3 domains of Ayush and leave the rest. So I hope the Honorable Minister through you, sir, will respond to them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.